Welcome to Iada's Corner, where diaspora women and new Americans shape the future. We're here to inform, inspire, equip you to lead, engage, and transform your community. Midterm season. Today, we're talking about midterms, most commonly used as shorthand for the midterm general elections. And for this video, we'll be mostly discussing federal and state elections, and we'll be using Minnesota as our example since our organization, Iada Leads, is based here. If you have any further questions, feel free to let us know. We also provide training in person and online. So, what exactly are midterms? Well, midterm elections happen in the middle of a presidential term, 2 years after a presidential general election. While presidential elections happen every 4 years, midterms happen every 2 years. So, for example, our last presidential election was 2024, the year is 2026. So just like presidential elections, midterms also include a primary election and a general election in November. Why are midterms important? Well, they're important because they determine who holds power in Congress, the legislative branch of the federal government. Congress is made out of 435 members of the House of Representatives and 100 U.S. senators. Midterms give you the opportunity to voice your approval or disapproval of how the government is doing, how the current administration is doing. Your vote can shift which political party controls Congress, which directly impacts what laws move forward and what gets blocked, and how much support or opposition the current administration faces. Congress also acts as a check on the executive branch, meaning the president and the vice president. Depending on who gets elected, power can shift in or out of alignment with the current administration. If you want more information about the three branches of government, check out our previous videos here. So, what races will be on your 2026 midterm ballot? Every voter will see some sort of combination of federal, state, and local races. At the federal level, this includes the U.S. senators and the U.S. representatives. Federal decisions impact the entire country. U.S. representatives introduce bills and resolutions, serve on committees, and can help constituents access federal benefits and services. Senators approve presidential appointments, vote on treaties, conduct impeachment trials, and represent the interests of their entire state. If you want a quick breakdown of Congress's power and the real-world example of how it impacts everyday life, like the government shutdown debates, check out this video. Let's shift to state elections, and again, we'll use Minnesota as our example. State-level decisions impact your daily life, including in spaces like education, healthcare, transportation, housing, environmental policy, and state spending. If you're watching this from another state, I highly implore you to research who is running in your own state and local county elections. The following roles are a part of Minnesota's executive branch. Now, Minnesota is under a unique circumstance where the government and the lieutenant government seats will be opening at the same time midterms occur. You might also hear it as a gubernatorial election, which just means the governor's race. Other Minnesota races include Secretary of State, Attorney General, State Auditor, State Senator, State Representative, and some judicial seats. So what do these roles do? Well, the governor is the state's chief executive. They propose budgets, sign or veto legislation, appoint judges and agency heads, and help shape statewide policy. So kind of similar to a president, but at a state level. The lieutenant governor steps in if the governor is absent or leaves office and also takes on projects assigned by the governor. In Minnesota, you can vote for governor and lieutenant governor together on the same ticket. The Secretary of State oversees elections, trains county election staff, certifies official documents, and registers businesses and nonprofits. The Attorney General represents the state in court and helps enforce laws related to consumer protection, affordable housing, student loans, and public rights. The State Auditor oversees how local governments spend public funds and reviews financial reports, audits, and complaints. Now, let's move on to Minnesota's legislative branch. State senators and representatives propose, debate, and vote on legislation while also helping shape the state budget. Minnesota state senators serve on the upper chamber, representing 67 districts that are redrawn every 10 years through redistricting based on the U.S. consensus. Senators serve 4-year terms. State representatives serve in the Minnesota House of Representatives. They write and vote on laws affecting issues like healthcare, the environment, education, and economy. They also vote on taxes and state spending. Finally, we have Minnesota's judicial branch. The Minnesota Supreme Court has 7 justices who make final decisions decisions on matters of state law. The U.S. Court of Appeals has 19 judges who review decisions made by lower courts and state agencies. District courts are where most trials happen. Nearly 300 judges across Minnesota oversee cases in 10 judicial districts covering counties throughout the state. So, what is the takeaway? Midterms are not smaller elections in a sense. They determine who creates laws, who enforces them, who interprets them, and ultimately how government functions at both the federal, state, and county levels. That is why making a plan to vote matters. Know your registration status, know your polling place, know your deadlines, and know what is on your ballot before Election Day. November 3rd, 2026 is Election Day for the federal midterm elections, so for everybody. We all know that date. Come on now. If you want more information about your state's elections, let us know. We can DM you resources, provide training, or even make more posts breaking it all down. We, the people, will vote this season. Midterm season. Want to stay informed? Follow IATA Leads on our social media networks, sign up for our email list to get updates on events and resources, and if you can, please donate to support our work. Together we're building power and shaping the future. IATA out.